everybody, welcome to Car Readings. I'm Margaret. If you like, subscribe, put your thumbs up if you want. Now, I'm going to talk about why we think about why do we worry about other people's opinions, yeah? And it's quite an interesting story behind this, but I'm going to give you 3 questions before I start. Are you a person go out to a person and you worry about what they look like? 1. 2, a person might come to you and say, "Oh, I wish I was skinnier," or "I shouldn't really sit with that person," or "Do you like this?" kind of thing. And you say to the person, "Oh, don't worry about it." Yeah, that kind of person. That's number 2. Number 3 is, are you a person look at yourself or worry about what people think about you? Or you look at yourself and think, "I'm not quite right." Right? It's about that kind of stuff. And it's interesting because I'm watching this show and thought about how people see you and how you see yourself, right? And it's based on a group of modeling people and the young ladies, how they look at these model people. And it started off with this young lady. She was quite skinny, well, I would say well-built kind of person. And she had 2 or 3 kids, so she gained weight, right? And she wasn't quite happy with it, so she went on an exercise, and some reason she stopped. I can't remember why, but she stopped. Yeah, and then she went to and she talked to another person and said, why don't you do some, I don't know what, kind of like body weight kind of stuff. I don't know. There are people who builds up their muscles and that, and they go on TV and all that kind of stuff. And she did it, and she just realized she's not happy with it either. And she was gonna go in an operation where she can lose her weight, right? But she said, well, what would that send her daughter? What like how her daughter will look at that situation? And then it leads into models and how the everyday person like me, like I'll use me as a sample because I'm not a model looking person. You can all see that, and I'm happy with that. But there's people out there who will look at me, or people will say, I want to be skinnier. I want to be that model look, or I want to be tall, or that kind of stuff, that kind of thing. And it's really into watching them, because a lot of them, even with the skinny people, quite skinny people in this giant movie, and they say, "Oh, I wish I was big." So it's a reverse too, where the big people think that they wanted to be skinny, you tall people, skinny people wanted to be bigger. Tall people want to be smaller people want to be taller. What's to happen with the hair, that kind of stuff. Then they looked into models, and this is quite interesting with the models, because this is one typical lady, I can't remember who she was, but she lost so much weight and she wanted to lose this weight at the start, but she comes anorexic, so she could see all her bones. She was really skinny, and at the end she just said to people on this movie, "Don't do what I did," because it's just unhealthy. Because she was really skinny. She went into hospital and everything. But then, yeah, and then you got these people who work for the magazines where they're, I don't know what to do. They do this chemist photo stuff, and they make people skinnier, taller, that kind of colour thing, that change the colour of the skins, and it really makes me think, because this was really based on females, right? But it's easy to, it's like all of us, not just with females, but with males too, where we look at ourselves and we worry about what other people think. Like, if someone put a thumb down for my YouTube channel, I will stop and worry and think, why is that? Like, people will think about that, and I think, well, that's just their opinions. Or someone will say, Margaret, I don't like your top. But people will look at that and go, well, maybe I should change my top. And I think to myself, well, that's nothing major. No, why would you do that? You know, unless you go out and murder someone or kidnap them or rape them, there's no reason why we should change who we are. I mean, yes, I'm not a model looking person, like I said, and I'm okay with it, but I'm quite healthy. I can walk up to 9 hours a day related to work and everything else, and it's not an exercise for me. It's just because I want to do it. No, it's just because I want to do it. And as you can see, I don't have that model look. I will never get that model look, so I don't want to go out and do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So my opinion for myself, and I would say to other people, I don't care what you think of me, I'm happy who I am. Where a lot of people will look at it and say, like I said, when I asked you this question earlier, you would turn to a person and say, I don't care what you look like, I am worried about what other people think about me. And I think that's really interesting. I mean, a perfect example is, and I don't watch this show, I think I watched it for 5 minutes one day, Neighbours. It's a strange show, it's made here in Melbourne, and it's a perfect show. They're very versatile people show. Because you watch the show, and I won't give anything away, I can't give you anything away, I don't know what's going on in the show. This has to be a bit scandal, but that's all I know. But with the show, you got actors in it where some of them are quite well built, they're bigger than me. You got some actors that are younger, skinnier, well built like me. You got your older people who are quite skinny, and then other people are well built. You got people out there who got dark skin and light skin. They're very versatile. About a year or two ago, I can't remember, they had a person in it who had a disability. So they're very versatile people. We have people who are gay, people who are straight, you know, so people like that. So for me, that's a perfect show because it shows all types of people. Like, I must admit, I don't like it, not because of that, more likely because of the storyline. I'm not into the storyline of the show, it's a soapy, so I don't like it. But as people-wise and actors-wise, and going by their beliefs, they are pretty much doing it. They're going by their beliefs. They're going by, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're a good actor, that's all that matters. And I think that's a perfect show to see it, because it just goes through everything. It doesn't matter who you are, you look at it and you know it's that kind of show, yeah. And I think I take my hat off to they do practice what they preach. I mean, here you're watching, you see it, right? But like I said, most of us are like, yeah, think about you guys who are on YouTube, right? Who watch it and you do a YouTube thing, and someone put something nasty on it, like purposing. I did a reading on someone. I think I got it wrong. I can't remember because this was on my last YouTube channel, and it was a missing person. And this guy goes to puts why would you listen to her? She has a missing tooth. And I'm thinking to myself, what has a missing tooth got to do with being wrong about something? Really? So to me, I didn't take that to heart. I thought that makes no sense. I mean, you can be perfectly white and have a missing tooth. You being perfectly white and have dyslexia. I mean, you can't. A lot of people look at themselves and go, well, maybe this person's right, but it's not right. It doesn't matter how you look at yourself or what you do to yourself. You're never going to please anyone. Never going to please anyone at all. And that's my opinion. So that's why, yes, a walk, and that's quite fit, but I don't see it as an exercise. I see it as something I like. People keep on saying to me, how many Ks do you walk? I don't know. I just walk. So I don't even look at it in that way. But a lot of people would do it because they want to lose weight. But is it healthy? Is that what you really want? I mean, so I would say to you guys, when you watch this, think about what I just asked at the start, in the sense of, would you go to a person worry about what they look like, or what worry about, well, if they said to you, I'm worried about what I'm going to say, or how I'm going to look, what you say to them, why would you say that to yourself? Why? What's the difference between that person to yourself? Like perfect example would be names, where I look at that and I'm ideal, and how I see myself. Yes, I have a disability, but I'm good at other stuff, like being psychic and listening to people, good with art, that kind of stuff. So I don't put myself down. Yes, I do have problems, but I don't worry about them problems. You can't fix them problems. You can't fix my dyslexia, kind of stuff. Yes, I can fix my teeth, but I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. I can lose my weight, but will I be happy to lose weight? You know, that kind of stuff. So just put yourself in that person's shoes, and if they say, "Do I look pretty?" and you say, "Yeah, that you look pretty, you look fine," would you say that to yourself? Am I skinny enough? If you turn around and say, "Yeah, you're skinny, you're perfect how you are," would you do that to yourself? Think about yourself in that situation. Why does that person look perfect and not you? Like, yeah, I mean, we are who we are. No matter it's a male or female. I mean, males, like if you don't go outside and do the garden, you're male. You're not a male. If you're male and you don't work on a car, you're not a male. Men don't cry. That's a lot of crap. Sorry, but that's a lot of crap. That kind of stuff. So things like that. So this is more for all rounders, not about just females, but for females, adults, people with disabilities. People are just different. Well, so everyone's different. There's no normal in her life. I mean, everything is different. No one's perfect, and that's what I'm trying to say. So don't look at yourself and say, "I wish." Think about all your good qualities, and would you say that to a person saying the same thing? What would you say to that person that thinks the same thing about themselves? Would you say that to them? Like, am I too fat? You know, should I change my hair? That kind of stuff. So that's my thought on it, and I hope this is useful. And it's a bit random, but I just thought I'll talk about this movie because it's a really good movie. I think it's Embrace, it's called. I think it's something like that, and it's really good because they do with watch in the movie. It's do with other people. Like there's a real famous lady, and I don't know if she's here in Australia now, but she got burnt from top to bottom in a bushfire. And she was, I don't know if she still is. She was a runner, and she written 3 or 4 books out there. She's a pretty, you know her if you've seen her. She's been on magazines and that too. So it's like that. Or people who had, ladies had breast cancer, and one of the breasts had to came off, and they're okay with it now. Stuff like that. So it's quite a good movie if you can watch it. And I think it's called Embrace. I think it's called. So if you can watch it, because it is a good movie. So I'm going to leave it at this right now. If you like, subscribe, put your thumbs up if you want,